Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Sorry.
Okay. When you started, yeah, that's fine. I'm gonna. Maybe you can tell me.
Well, and in the same vein, somebody look at your race, what you're running for, and say, I call that strong.
Oh, I don't think so. I think that we have a really, really good chance here. Nancy Pelosi's poll numbers are down. She doesn't reflect the values of California's 8th district. I really do, and I think that people, the farther we go into the campaign, will see that.
All right, thank you. Cindy, you were and you're playing the state right now, but what most recently? What party? You were a Democrat. Yeah. And then when you decided to run?
Well, actually, I pulled out before back in May when the Democrats were the leaders and passing another funding bill. I resigned from the Democratic Party. I wasn't planning on doing this until a couple months later. So when I had already left that party, but not really joined any other. So I just thought it would be great to stay. Don't decline to stay. Yeah.
Private, you think, or just private, you think?
So now I'm saying now I'm totally confused.
Yeah.
But Berkeley is still the best. It's number 3 in the world. So.
And it's good for you to be in the Bay Area.
Yeah. So I got more choices I gotta make now.
When I originally applied to college, USC was one of the only 3 places I applied to. I went to Harvey Mudd, which is
Oh, I know.
Okay.
You know what? I almost went to the Claremont Colleges myself.
Yeah, I love the campus too. That was one thing.
Yeah. I just had a speaking engagement there. I was invited by Pitzer to do their Sojourner Truth lecture.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I minored in art and I studied Native American culture.
Really?
Yeah, I also took classes at Stretch. So that was one I was thinking about co-op. I was an engineering major. I was just in a word so.
Yeah.
But I'll do something.
So now you're an engineer?
That's my background. I'm not using it all the time. I am somewhat. I'm an inspector for the county.
Oh, okay.
Air quality inspector. So I use some engineering.
Yeah.
Mostly what I do is I enforce air quality business. So I get to get out to the businesses, see what they're doing, make sure they're aware of the rules. I'm a small top too. I mean, sometimes I have to write expensive tickets. But people are hurting. You know it too. This business is a lot. I like it because I write and I get to run around.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then of course, so I've kind of come a long way since my
Great.
congratulations on this.
And turn and smile for Don.
Jesse, nice to meet you. I spoke to the campaign person. Sorry I wasn't more responsive.
I didn't even hear it click.
It's rolling. It's rolling. Yeah, it's taking 29 plus shots every second.
Oh, excuse me for not knowing,
29.97.
okay?
No, the video.
Let me sit you down so I can see.
Hey, yeah.
Don, by the way.
Great to see you.
Hey, nice
Yeah.
to see you again. Good.
All right.
For being here.
Okay.
Okay, so if we could get the candidates to please sit down, I'm going to kick this thing off. And,
Right after.
okay.
Rent a car? Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chris?
Been talking to you.
Oh, wait.
Are you gonna have? Susan might be the one to ask after.
Do you normally play back on your computer?
Use this because my computer is harder.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming this afternoon. This is the 2008 California Green Party presidential primary debate. We have an esteemed panel of candidates who are seeking the Green Party's nomination who are here today. This is Dr. Jared Ball, Kat Swift, Jesse Johnson, Kent Mesplay, and Cynthia McKinney. Ralph Nader's plane was delayed. I understand he wasn't bumped, but his plane was delayed, and he also wanted to clarify that he has not yet declared as a candidate. So while he will be participating in the event later, he is not going to be a part of the debate as he is not yet a declared candidate. So we will have an opportunity to speak with all of the candidates and get their opinions on things, and then Ralph will be arriving later. So what I'd like to do right now is invite the members of the press to ask any questions, and you can direct it to any of the candidates of your choice. So if there's any questions.
Can you begin by just telling us in a couple sentences about yourselves?
Why don't we do that? Have a brief, we'll start here with Dr. Ball. If everyone could give a brief candidate statement to the press, and we'll just go around the room with Ms. Swift, Mr. Johnson, Mr. Mesplay, and Ms. McKinney.
Would you mind putting the microphone in front of you?
Pass the mic to each person.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Yes, my name is Jared Ball. I'm by trade an assistant professor of communication studies at Morgan State University in Baltimore. I'm an independent journalist. I work with Pacifica Radio in Washington, D.C., and I'm also the distributor, founder, and creator of Free Mix Radio, the original mixtape radio show, which is an attempt to use the hip-hop mixtape as a 21st century source of emancipatory journalism, freely distributed in and around the Washington, D.C. area. I've entered this campaign with my colleague and co-campaign manager, Head Rock, to bring a very culturally powerful, hip-hop centered approach to organizing this party into a party that does not currently exist, that organizes and focuses on the indigenous, the African, Latino, American, and working white majority. And we recognize ourselves as a domestic and international majority that does not have, at the current moment, electoral political representation, and that's why we're involved in the campaign.
Hi, my name is Kat Swift. I, by trade, am a bookkeeper for a nonprofit that provides homeless services in San Antonio, Texas. I entered the campaign because I will just be old enough this time to run for president, and the party encourages women and youth to stand up for leadership, and I decided that this was a good way to do that and to bring in the youth vote as well, and non-traditional voters such as the punk anarchist movement, the goths, people who don't really get around to voting because they don't think it means anything, but then when they see people like me and Dr. Ball, they're like, oh, wait a minute, maybe there's something here. So that's why I got involved.
Thank you. I'm Jesse Johnson. I'm an actor and filmmaker. I'm the state chairman of the Mountain Party of West Virginia, a party that is the affiliate to the Green Party of the United States, but we were born with a special emphasis on mountaintop removal mining and its position as being central to the global climate crisis. And I ran a campaign for governor in 2004, arguably the most successful campaign for governor of any third-party candidate in the country, and a rather principled campaign in 2006 against Robert C. Byrd, Senator of West Virginia, longest-serving senator. I took no money, spent no money, and still got 2% of the vote. And I believe it's time for some serious change of direction in this nation, or we will no longer be. It's not too long ago that our parents would not have believed that in our lifetimes we would not be facing the USSR. So we see how important that economic sustainability is, as well as other forms of sustainability that I'm sure we'll discuss today. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Kent Mesplay. I'm a repeat presidential candidate for the Green Party. I was on the ballot in 2004 in the contested race. I'm running again. My background is that I have a doctorate in biomedical engineering, especially biomechanics, from Northwestern University. I currently work in an environmental field as an air quality regulator for the Air Pollution Control District in San Diego. So I'm out there pretty much every day seeing what businesses are encountering and knowing of the problems that they're having in the current economy. I'm running basically to help us move toward a different way of life. Global climate change is real. It represents one of the largest security threats that we have. It is a public safety issue. I'm the one candidate who's been saying this for the longest time. I was aware of Al Gore even before Bill Clinton picked him, so I wasn't surprised when he chose him. Apart from representing environmental issues, the Green Party is a social justice advocate. And so it's not surprising that our candidates speak to issues of peace, of nonviolence, and of representation for the disenfranchised. It's good to be here, and I'm really glad to see so many interested people. Thank you.
Hi, I am Cynthia McKinney, former member of Congress from the state of Georgia. And I think that the Green Party is really blessed to have candidates coming from all walks of life who want to serve as our country's highest executive. Unfortunately, we've got to ask some very tough questions. Those two questions that are, I think, are most important are basically whose country is this and what is it that we stand for. We have changed the character of our country literally before our eyes. And I think that that change in character is not representative of the values of the people of this country. And so what we would like to do is to go out into the American heartland with a message of hope, a message of change, a message of dignity for America's voters, and a message of freedom and peace for people around the world. In order to carry out that message, we have to be able to deliver that message in a credible campaign. And so that's why we have to raise money. We have to go out into America's heartland. We've got to have conferences like this with members of the press and hope that when they do their reporting, that they will report accurately what has transpired. The country is facing a very critical time now, from environmental, from social justice, from peace. And as we read the news, that Americans' physical stature is diminishing because of challenges with access to health care, we also know that our moral stature is greatly diminishing. And so that's why I've entered the race. That's why I joined the Green Party, because now our country needs a movement that speaks to the values that I know are the real values of the American people.
Okay, now let's open up for questions, and members of the press are invited to direct their question to any of the candidates, or if you have a question that you'd like each candidate to answer. If it is a question for the entire panel, I'd like to keep the answers to 30 seconds, if you please. We have about 10 minutes left. Yes, sir, you, sir.
Okay, Don DeBar, WBAI-FM in New York City. For all the candidates, really, what is your strategy for winning the 2008 election?
In what order?
So, you know, whatever works.
Well, I'll chime in since I already did. The strategy, of course, is to become the Green Party nominee, but that's not as important as running together and getting the word out in whatever way we can. So we're not, in some ways, running so much against each other as with each other for a common cause. The basic method would be viral marketing using technologies of today. I've created YouTube videos that aren't quite posted. Kat is tapping into the youth vote. Well, we're all tapping into different demographics, some overlapping, but that's really the way to go. And thank you.
Ms. McKinney, we'll just switch it up and send you around this way. And somebody's getting you a glass of water.
Well, I guess the most important thing is to have a campaign plan. And that plan would demonstrate that it is possible for us to utilize technology, as Kent said, in order to get the message out. And so that would be part of a campaign plan for victory. The other part of it, of course, is raising money, which people don't talk about very much, but it's a reality in politics today.
Non-corporate.
Thank you, Dr. Ball.
A lot of the same strategies. I mean, we have most of the work that I'm involved in, that Headrock is involved in, and our other colleagues are involved in, is underground press, underground media, guerrilla marketing. It's a very traditionally hip-hop style campaign that crosses over across any number of different boundaries. But we want to, our primary mechanism for winning the election in 2008 is to build the party among the majority of the eligible electorate who have made the very politically astute decision not to vote. So we are not competing with Democrats and Republicans for their folks. We are looking to mobilize and organize among the majority of the population, and they will carry us to victory in 2008 and beyond.
Thank you, Ms. Swift.
Well, it sounds like we all have the same basic strategy, and the way I see it is we're all competent candidates and we're not competing with each other, as Kent said. And if we all bring our constituents to the table, whoever gets the nomination will have all of our 5 different constituencies behind them. And it's the non-voters that really need to be reached out to. And all the methods I've been doing have been mentioned already with guerrilla marketing and going through, MySpace, Facebook, all those things that are out there now that are used for organizing and tapping into the colleges, especially the ones that we've been to.
Okay, and Mr. Johnson, closing out the lineup. Thank you.
Thank you. What they said. Not only that, but I believe it has to do with we as supposedly the leaders of the free world, we have to be doing 2 things. One thing is we have to be looking toward the future, and we're clearly not doing that. You see it in regards to education and how much, just during the Bush years, we've dropped from investing 6% into basic corporate investment of 6% into R&D down to 2% and dwindling. So certainly the futuristic tracks are very good. My other track is more of a retro, and that is looking to our history. And we have to really look at our history, who we are, where we've been, and what lessons we learned through that. And part of that is to go and I want to, once I'm allowed to formally declare, actually, which I have not been able to do due to some technicalities, a whistle-stop campaign tour, very Truman-esque, very green across the nation. I join every one of you, and encourage every one of you to join.
Okay, great. And you started, right?
Yes.
Okay, great. Do we have any other questions from the press to either individual candidates or the panel?
So, I have a question.
Okay.
Would it be safe to say then that at this point you're not running individually to win, but you're running with a goal of having the party grow and be recognized in the future?
No. No, we're running to win. anytime anyone puts their name on the ballot, it is not for symbolism. It is for victory.
But the two have to go hand in hand. I mean, as the current electoral setup is constructed, we are excluded intentionally, primarily because of the political content of our messages. So we do, and I agree with Cynthia. I didn't put my name on here just to do it and lose. The intent is to win, but we have to do them, but both have to occur simultaneously. The party has to grow so that it can carry not only we, but in perpetuity, the candidates, much like the other parties, where the individual candidate is irrelevant. They are representations of the party that puts them there. So we have to develop a party that will not only put us there in 2008, but will do so every election cycle from here on out.
I think it's also very important to note that there have been efforts to obstruct the ability of third-party candidacies, of the Green Party itself, of independent candidacies to be effective. And in the courts now, we have the situation with Ralph Nader and the Democratic Party. And it would be interesting to make sure that as this campaign and this race is carried out, that personal efforts to obstruct the ability of voters to have choice in this campaign, from the presidential and vice presidential nominees all the way down to the local city council people who are on the Green Party ballot or on the independent ballot, are recognized by the press. That, I think, is very important.
And furthermore, it's not just that we're here for the great confluence of ideas, which frankly this country needs so desperately into this system. But also, I mean, we're all sticking our necks out and putting ourselves forward for the people. And at a crucial and critical time in our country's history, this is an opportunity for us not to select or elect someone who is from a royal family ordained to their position. It is an opportunity for us to elect someone who actually does feel the pain of the common individual that is out there in our society as a whole.
Of course we're running to win. I wouldn't be happy with just 5% of the vote. Cynthia McKinney could get us more than 5% of the vote. Any one of us could win. I'm running as a protest candidate. I'm fed up with our political system. So yeah, I do want to make him sweat, but I also want to change our way of life for the better. Roughly half of those who could vote don't even bother to do so. And I thoroughly understand this. And in some respects, I applaud their effort. But if you're looking for a protest vote out there, register green and vote mess play. Thank you.
Okay, closing it out, Ms. Swift.
Well, I don't know if there's anything else to add. I mean, this is pretty much the plan. I mean, you have to build a party and register more voters and get more people to vote for Green Party candidates and all up and down the ballot. I mean, getting media coverage for any Green Party candidate at any level is next to impossible in most states, including in Texas. I happened to be lucky when I ran for city council. It was a nonpartisan race and they put Green Party after my name every time, but that was because it was a novelty. It wasn't that they were doing it to support, to cover every party's candidates. And so we need to look at how the media shuts us out and how the debates shut us out. You know, the League of Women Voters don't have control over the presidential debates anymore. It's the Democrat and the Republican parties. So if the general populace doesn't even know that we exist, then they're not going to go out and vote. But I guarantee you, if the media covered the Green Party as much as they cover the other candidates, people would start voting. And I think that's what the true cause is. People are afraid, in power, are afraid that people are going to start voting for Green Party candidates, and it's going to take away some of their power structure.
Okay, thank you. We have time for just a few more questions. You in the red shirt, please.
Amanda Witheroff from the San Francisco Bay Guardian. Some of the candidacies, for example, Barack Obama and Ron Paul, have been able to mobilize a more youthful and energetic online vote, people really mobilizing to come out for those candidates. You've all suggested that using similar techniques would help you, yet that hasn't happened yet. Why not?
It will. That's in part what this is about. Basically, the Green Party presidential race just started this afternoon.
Anybody else here on the panel want to?
Well, and part of it is, when I've been traveling, people don't even know that the Green Party has presidential candidates. So even though Ron Paul and Obama have been able to mobilize voters on the internet, it's because they're getting press coverage. People know they exist. Even though Ron Paul shut out, people know that.
But didn't they get that press coverage after they got that mobilization? Wasn't that what got the mainstream media to pay attention?
No.
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 Not at all.
No. It doesn't work that way. In fact, it works the opposite way. And this is the professor of journalism, and you're the journalist, so you know how it works.
And that comes from someone who's actually been within that system and
Well,
knows exactly how it works.
There's a lot of corporate money involved, and that taints the system. No presidential candidate is allowed to accept corporate contributions. That's true for the Democrats and Republicans. The real issue is that the power structures that we have in place are there because of corporate contributions. So it's by no means a level playing field. We rely upon curious investigative journalists, people with a little more spunk to get out there and actually help make the news. So thank you for being here.
And we will be delivering pro-impeachment letters to Nancy Pelosi in the morning for those of you who would like to be there with us.
What's that going to be?
In front of Nancy Pelosi's office, and Cindy Sheehan is around here somewhere, and we will be with Cindy.
Okay, last comment on this,
I just
Dr.
wanted,
Ball?
well, the points have all been made. I just want to add, to make it very clear, that we should all be cautious in looking at the internet as some sort of alternative mass media. Your example proves, at least arguments made by me and others, that it is not an alternative. So what we're doing with Capital Resistance, with mixtapes, with in-your-face campaigning, I like what Brother Johnson has said about the Whistle Stop Tour. I mean, these are all things that we are implementing already. And have been making dents in this process already. So, again, I agree.
You have a straight shirt, please?
When do you decide on which candidate is going to be the presidential candidate for the Greens?
I actually can answer that one. The process for the Green Party is similar to the other two major parties in that we have primaries or caucuses in every state, and it differs from state to state. In California, our primary is going to be on February 5th. We will then select our delegates based on the results of that primary. And then in Chicago in July, I believe it's 13th through the 10th through the 13th, thank you. In July, we will have a nominating convention, and the candidate will actually be nominated from the floor. The delegates representing each state will cast votes. We do it using ranked choice voting, and coming out of that, we'll come out with our decision. But it will be made by the grassroots selected Greens on the floor of the convention. It won't be a coronation like the Democrats and the Republicans. So we'll
Democratically and using proportional representation too, is that right?
That's correct. That's correct. So you all are invited to join us there as well. I'd like to give each candidate just 20 seconds to close out, and then we do need to move on with our program. And then Cress has an announcement too. So please, we'll start this time with Ms. Swift, and we'll just go around this way. Thank you.
Well, thank you all for being here, especially coming from as far away as New York. And we appreciate the media with any coverage. And I hope you continue to cover and check out what's going on in all the other states as well. Because we don't all, like in Texas, we don't have a primary process. We have a convention process. And so it's interesting to see how the laws are so different and how it's so difficult in some states to even get on the ballot as a Green Party candidate for any office.
Mr. Johnson?
Well, thanks again. I really want to thank you for hosting us. And you know, San Francisco, when I was a young man, was a great hope of a new future for this nation that unfortunately I've seen sort of dwindle, but it seems like it's somewhat still alive and thriving here. So I look forward to you coming in and listening to our, as I said, our confluence of ideas, and we hope we get the opportunity to speak with you afterward.
we're all working for electoral reform, having proportional representation, having instant runoff voting, developing some more of the tools in the toolbox of democracy so that our votes count and our votes matter. My main issue as a candidate is that sustainability is a security issue. When we have more of our basic needs met in place, we are better able to meet any challenge, environmental or from terrorist activity. Water, food, energy, transportation, the basics. We're very weak at a basic level in this nation and we need to improve. And do you have your 3-day emergency kits prepared?
I would just say that this country is in desperate need of a movement. I am the direct beneficiary of a movement, the civil rights movement. I saw my father trying to run for office before the enactment of the Civil Rights Act and afterwards, and before he had no chance of winning. But with the stroke of a pen, after much pain and suffering and bloodshed, with the passage of the Voting Rights Act, people were given an opportunity to make public policy. And the success of the civil rights movement then spawned the women's liberation movement, the gay liberation movement, and the freedoms that are in so much threat today were spawned as a result of the successful inauguration of a movement that changed people's lives. That's what our country needs now. We have seen people power in Venezuela, in Argentina, in Bolivia, in Chile, Nicaragua. We have seen people power in Haiti and Cote d'Ivoire. We can have people power here in this country. There's no reason that we can't do the same thing in this country. We just have to believe that it's possible. I believe that it's possible. I still have hope and faith in the American people that when they see a political party that is divested from all of the corporate interests and the easy business as usual solutions, the bumper sticker solutions, that talks about real issues, has real people involved in it, that they, from all backgrounds, will say this is something that I want to be a part of. And I will just conclude by saying Viola Liuzzo was a housewife in Michigan, and she saw black people getting their heads cracked open. And she said, I have to be there. I have to be a part of it. And unfortunately, it was an FBI informant who was sitting in the truck, maybe even pulled the trigger, that killed her. But she went down south to be a part of something that was way more important, way bigger than her individually. And that was a gift, really, that the generation of my parents gave to me that my generation didn't give to me. We've got to change that. And to the extent that this campaign will be able to do that, then we will do that. And the legacy of this campaign will be that we will have instilled hope in people who are hopeless. We will have taken out despair from people who are desperate. We will have provided solutions to people who are looking for answers.
Kenny and Dr. Ball?
Yeah, again, I want to just echo everything that's been said, including the thanks to you all for being here. Look, 2008 is the 40th anniversary of Dr. King's assassination. Our campaign and our colleagues' campaigns are all being run on his true politics. Politics that have been ossified in a fraudulent memory, commemorated in a fraudulent memorial being established in Washington, D.C. as we speak, with the intent of making sure that these kinds of discussions don't occur, to make sure that what we're trying to do with this campaign, which is a real focus on the people in this country, the working people, the indigenous, the Latin African-American populations, the most oppressed in the society, who until their issues are redressed, we cannot be a positive impact in the world. As Dr. King said 40 years ago, the bombs that drop overseas explode at home. Our inability to take care of our folks here leads directly to us not being able to have a positive impact or influence in the world, to not be able to deal with any of the things that have been mentioned, whether they're environmental or otherwise. And we need to refocus on these people as a primary, as my colleague Hedrock says, as the first environmental disaster, which was the theft of the indigenous lands that we still rest upon, the enslavement of my African ancestors, the abuse of those in my family and my colleagues who dared to struggle and dared to win in the labor movement. All of these incomplete revolutions negatively impact us today. If we don't have campaigns that are directed at these people, above and beyond even an open discussion of the environment, we cannot help to build and organize this party, and we will not be able to have the impact that we need to have. So, and until, I should also need to add, until we are dealing with, in this very city, the political prisoners known as the San Francisco 8, and those locked up around the country and around the world, we cannot talk about the environment and other issues. We have to deal with people's poverty, imprisonment, police brutality. These are the issues that will get people in this party, and these are the issues that will carry us into victory in 2008 and beyond, and that will build us as a viable alternative power and threat to the status quo, as my brother Kent just said a few minutes ago. So again, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you guys, and if I could get the candidates to please follow me to the room backstage, and we are going to be starting the debate on time in about 15 minutes. So if I could get the candidates to follow me, I will lead you back. Is there Mary Ambrose in the room? Hi, Eric.
Nice to meet you. Just wanted to talk to
They never tell me.
Coalition.
How you doing?
Do you have all that stuff? You might. Actually, I don't have this.
Take one.
Thank you.
Dress kit?
Well, it's not a kit. It has the contact info.
How are you?
Very good, thanks. Pretty good. You are?
I'm Nader.
Don DeVar. How are you? Thank you.
Catch you before this point. He's out there right now. Yeah, he's like doing books as my days available. It's not that crowded. I think he was smart. He knew this was a hot room. So he said he'll stay up on his own window. So yeah, Nader's out front.
He is.
Some problems with the voting practice, but I won't deny it. The Green Party is in there's some improvements that can be made. That would help, and I think that the broadband and the support that Alvaro actually has provided all that much more obvious.
I'm wondering if we could do it. I'm wondering if you could do it in your studio. Our host would be at the same.
Right now, we need to mobilize.
There's so many words for it. I don't know what you want to change.
A real change, meaningful, so that we can survive long term. The Green Party is here to stay. I'm certainly unapologetic about running. I'm running to win, and all I really need is one vote, one person to get out there, register Green and vote. And the people that we are all courting are those who are so fed up with the system that they don't bother to vote. And that's roughly half of the electorate. So yeah, it's a challenge, but first of all, I think we're seriously running. That goes a long way.
I appreciate it. I thought I recognized your name, but because I'm familiar with a little bit of and all that. We just saw Rosa come in. Did you? Yeah, she's coming down. She's going to start working with us.
Oh, man. You're lucky. She's a good woman.
Get on board, check it out, look at the Green Party key values, and build those. There's a lot of room within the party.
And then all the way through to the back.
Yeah, here.
How are you?
And we'll be calling you up in about 10 minutes. We're going to start this show on time.
It's not green.
Yeah, it's like, how can you call it a green?
I know. It's not. I'm Don. Nice to meet you. Thank you for running and for doing this.
Oh, very impressed.
Good to hear you. Yeah.
Thank you. Please help yourself.
I'm gonna go set up out there for the second, so go get them.
If anybody needs to use the facilities, there are special